Yo, 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 yo. Okay, let's get to business. All right, so this is accounting 101 for us. Y'all know how I like to use my Hello Alice in order to make sure that we got the basics down for our business. And that's accounting 101. So, like I said, let's hop to it. Let's get to it. So, just so you know, there's a quick note from Andrew Jordan, who's a COO of the Finance Pal. And that's who Hello Alice has used to help us do this accounting 101. So, and he goes on to say that so much of the success of your business depends on what happens in 1 square foot of real estate, your head. And when you're running the show by yourself or with bare bones teams, you can get a little burnt out. So it's easy to fall victim to the imposter syndrome and regular old anxiety. All right. So, and y'all know what the imposter syndrome is, right? Where you feel like, they're going to find out that I'm not supposed to be doing this. You are supposed to be doing this. I can prove it to you. Because remember, I'm also an astrologer and numerologist since 2001. Okay. Basically, I'm the birthday lady. I'm Master C. And literally, we'll see what God says about it, right? We will go straight and see what God says about where you should be. So no imposter syndrome for none of my business owners, especially if you made it to this video. That means you actually care about yourself and your business. So kudos to you. Don't ever worry about you not fitting what you're trying to be. Dream big, dream bigger. And the more you can do that can lessen your stress, that includes educating yourself now and partnering up with people and professionals you trust, the better your business and you will do, period, point blank. And so this guide that we're about to do right now for our 30-minute video today is going to identify the basic first steps to getting started with your business finances. Okay. So you definitely need to just buckle down. So let's go to our first step. Separating our finances. So when you're starting a new business, the easiest and most important thing to do for your financial future is to get a separate bank account and a separate credit card for your business, right? People who make the mistake of trying to run their businesses from their personal bank accounts and credit cards can have liability protection issues. All their income and all their expenses, they get all entangled, and this only makes things harder for you down the line, especially for us tax preparers that are doing your taxes. Anyway, you'll end up missing out on tax deductions for your businesses and therefore pay more than you ought to. And it might make your life even more difficult if you're audited in the future and can't prove which expenses were business and not personal. Or cash at me without title. Okay, anyway, I digress. So, keeping your personal and business finances in separate accounts goes a long way towards making your accounting a lot easier. I can't stress it enough. We need to have a business bank account for at least 6 months before they even want to look at giving us a real proper credit line, okay? Okay, just so you know. So, first step was to separate your finances. Next step is to educate yourself on the basics. I mean, once your finances are separate, it's time for you to educate yourself on some accounting and some financing basics. This is why you're here. So, and you come to me because this is what I do. I have a master's degree in business administration and computer information sciences because your girl wasn't playing. I was not playing. And then, I'm an astrologer. So anyway, I digress. The more capable that you feel of being involved with and in control of your own books and financials, the less worry and less stress that you'll experience. That doesn't mean you can't delegate your data entry or you shouldn't hire professional accountants to prepare your taxes. like myself, I mean, quite the opposite. You don't need to go and take an accounting class either, but you should know what you're signing up for when you sign your tax return. Okay. Listen to some podcasts at least, watch some videos, find some tutorials from some trusted sources online. Basically, come to Black Girl Magic Masters LLC. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as a B-Day lady. I'm on TikTok as Keela Chiquila or Black Girl Magic Masters. Basically, you don't got no excuse because I give game for free and been giving game for free for at least the last 6 months. Anyway, your bank and your accounting software that you use to track your income and spending, they can churn out different kinds of reports that can give you different perspectives on how your business is doing, and you can compare it to how it was doing before. Remember in our last video, that's what we talked about. So you need to review these following type of reports. You want to know about the profit and loss, or the P&L, the comparative profit and loss statements. Basically, remember in the last video, it's a month to month on how your business is doing right now compared to previous individual months. Then you also want to check your quarterly reports if your business is definitely seasonal. So how your business is doing right now compared to last season or during the last season, during this season's last year. So you also want to know cash flow statements, where your money is coming from and where is it going. Okay, it's different from the profit and loss comparative statement where you're comparing what you did 1 month to the other month. We're now talking about cash flow statements where your money comes from and where it's going, right? And then finally, a good report to have that you should be aware of is called your balance sheet. They're quick status checks on your assets, what you own, and your liabilities, what you owe. Okay, so you just need to get familiar with these kinds of reports because they're going to help you get better at making your projections for your business, and then checking them regularly will help you stay on the right track. So this is why I put these type of reports in your business plan, because you're going to have to revisit that business plan because it's a what? Plan, not a story. We talked about that in other videos. Remember, we are not just writing stories when it comes to our business plan. Our business plan includes inclusive information about your finances and where your projections. Okay, that's in other videos. We're going to go to the next step of accounting 101. So remember, we just said that you want to, first we said you need to separate your finances. Then we said we need you to educate yourself on the basics. Like you need to know what your P&L statement, your profit and loss statements, which is a comparative month to month statement. Then you want to know quarterly reports. Then you want to know your cash flow statements. And then you want to know what a balance sheet is supposed to look like. Boom, right? So then the next step that I want you to know is you got to be kind to the future self, your future you. Now, I, as an astrologer, I don't do the future because nobody knows the future. But you can kind of guesstimate if you play chess like I do, and I play chess life. You got to be about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of people these days because what? There is no time is not promised to you. It's your hottest commodity, the only commodity, and literally you can't get it back. So I like to do things with my present self and then contemplate what future self might need. And in this lesson of Accounting 101, we want you to be kind to your future self, people. Andrew advocates. And remember, Andrew is the CEO of the Finance Pal that's actually giving us this wonderful guide presented by Hello Alice, that he advocates being kind to your future self. And these are ways that you can start doing that. So first of all, you need to keep important numbers ready, at the ready. I mean, examples of that is like your EIN number, your state ID, your state sales tax ID, your license number, etc. Keep those important numbers ready to be looked at any given time. Also, keep receipts to validate tax deductible business expenses. Boom. I mean, to validate a business expense over $75, you better have that goddamn receipt and an explanation of what it was. I mean, like an example of that is you had a business lunch during which you discussed a specific matter. So make notes on your receipts and either file them away, or scan them into your bookkeeping app. You're welcome. Otherwise, if you're audited in 3 to 6 years, because that can happen, people, you won't remember, and certainly not in a way that is that's going to convince the IRS. All right, boom. You know what I'm saying? Then also for expenses under $75, you don't need a receipt to validate your purchases. Your credit card statement, that's enough for that. You still need to provide a business reason for the expense. Period, people. This is a business. That's your personal thing. Literally, I need you to get away from looking at your social security number like it's just a social security number. It is actually an actual business. Okay, let's go. The next thing is we want, and I'm going to start doing this myself. I'm going to use apps to track my mileage now. Y'all with me? Y'all feeling me on this? Because throughout the year, if mileage is an expense, that we plan to deduct, example, mile IQ. Andrew says that the hardest thing to retroactively figure out at a tax time is your mileage. Okay? So use that Mile IQ app or whatever app that you're using to track your mileage, because if you're not, okay, listen, everybody deducts their mileage, okay? And it was at 56 cents per mile. Anyway, we digress. And if you went, anyway, so okay, keep it simple. Now, Andrew's advice is basically to keep your accounting system just kind of streamlined, right? I mean, you're a small business with lots of important things to do. So focus on those things instead of investing time and money into fancy accounting tools and apps and services. And God darn it, don't do it. Okay? Once you're grossing $10,000 a year down, start working with basic accounting software. Okay? I'm recommending QuickBooks. They're rolling with us right with the times. Okay? And the QuickBooks mobile app is a little different from the desktop app. So I'm just letting you know, get familiar with both sides. But anyway, the next step that we want you to consider in this Accounting 101 guide that's literally for real, I would like to say sponsored by Hello Alice and our good friend Andrew, who's the COO of the Finance Pal. He came up with this wonderful guide that I'm expressing with you right now on this video. Now, one of the reasons why I do this is because my information ain't free. This information is free for the masses. I just didn't think that you had a chance to see it. So I'm being nice enough to share it with you. What? So it says work with an accounting professional. This is also the point at which, it makes sense to consider hiring a professional accountant, i.e., not a tax preparer like myself who just took a course, but a bona fide accountant with a degree or CPA. Okay, I guess like myself, because I've literally took corporate finance classes, 8 accounting classes, and I just really just need to take the CPA. Okay, so it's like me to do your taxes. BlackGirlMagicMastersLLC.com. Schedule your time on Calendly. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation. We can do it virtually. We can do it face-to-face, whatever your needs. I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm redefining excellence, and I'm making sure I meet my people where they at. But anyway, let me repeat this. Come to me, because this is what Andrew says. Once you start making over $10,000 for your business and you're considering accounting taxware, this is the point at which it makes all the sense to consider hiring me as your professional accountant, i.e., the person that's a bona fide person with a degree in the shit. The stuff. Sorry, I cuss. You know what I'm saying? I speak different languages. God, I'm fluent. And this is who you want to do your taxes. And I literally did about 15 people's taxes this year just to get my feet wet. And everybody is happy. And we are not facing no kind of auditing. Anyway, even if your small business is just a side hustle, and even if you can use tax prep software to do it yourself, Andrew and I warn that business taxes are much more complicated than your personal return, baby. Okay, baby. If you do your own taxes, you run the risk of making mistakes, leaving money on the table, and over or underpaying. Boo, come see me. Come see your girl. Literally paid about $90,000 for my education, and yo, so you owe it to yourself. And you owe it to your business to find me, a professional that you trust, to take your taxes off your plate. Then I want you to really consider that you find an individual with a good online reputation and trust your gut. Okay. Oh, I'm willing to work for every good thing anybody say about me, period. But anyway, um, so like I said, people come to me because I'm doing their bookkeeping, I'm doing their payroll, I'm helping with taxes. I got my master's in business administration, and I spent about 10 years working for the Columbus City School District, being the head secretary, basically. Um, you just need to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And come holler at your girl. Anyway, next step. We talked about this in our preceding video, the last video, where we need to build a business budget. But let's just go ahead and revamp this one more time. Business budgets are different than personal budgets. With your personal budget, when your income is usually a fixed amount, the goal is to minimize the expenses that you have. You know what I'm saying? We're not paying no cable no more. We not, you know how we do, right? But not so with the business budget. And acting as if it may feel frugal in the short term, but may harm you in the long term. Yeah, no. The goal of business budget is to make the best investment with the money you have. It's all about the return on your investment. What you gonna get from putting in? It's supposed to give what it's supposed to give. You know how people's like, I got this and it didn't give what it was supposed to give. Well, this is what you're looking for, things to give what it's supposed to give, all right? I mean, like, there's no other way to look about it. And how much is too much to spend on hiring an employee you need? Or how much is too much to spend on some marketing budget or some little campaign you want to do? You know what I'm saying? You need to know, what you're going to get out of that, how many sales you're going to get out of that. And I know how to the darn number. Anyway, you're gonna watch it while you watch my business. I'm only a year old and a year and a half, right? I'll be a year and a half because I was a year old in March 2020. And I will be, this business will probably be a year and a half, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're gonna celebrate October. October 1st, I will say that I'm a year and a half old in my business. And your girl ain't playing. Anyway, Andrew says that $100,000 is not too much to spend if it brings back $1 million. And I agree with Andrew. And you should expect to see a return from all the things that you do. Period. Okay. Okay. For instance, if you hire an accountant to prepare your taxes or oversee your accounting, you should understand the benefits you receive in return in terms of accuracy and your time and stress saved. This means you need to be able to make predictions about what is likely to happen. And when you have data on what's happened before, that helps you model out the future accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just starting out, you have to rely more on your gut and understanding, how things in the market and your market is working, right? So these projections help make budgetary and investment decisions now that will affect your business and your budgetary and investment decisions you'll make another year from now. So focus on the healthy growth of your business. Okay, so to start a business budget, remember you got to list all the sources of your income and how you can count on and how much you can count on from each source every month. Two, you need to determine your fixed costs, Are you a brick and mortar business that has to pay rent and utilities for your space? Are there regular supply, material, and labor costs? Identify and categorize those costs. 3, determine your variable expenses. What business costs change? I mean, from season to season, month to month, even week to week. But do you still anticipate having that at some point or another, and in some volume or another, basically a different amount of it? This can include bigger or more emergent one-time costs, like replacing something that some old equipment that broke down, or some expensive hardware, or rebranding. Finding financing for your rebranding effort. Basically, you just need to identify and categorize these expenses too. So 1, list your sources of income. 2, determine your fixed costs. 3, determine your variable expenses. 4, map your expenses against your income. And then you try to forecast the next month's finances. How does your business stand right now? And at the end of one month, and the beginning of another, right? I mean, it seems simple enough, but people do not do that. We literally be thinking so far in the future, some of us small business owners, that we overdo stuff. And that's why we get the imposter syndrome, because we're not taking this necessary steps in order to create a nice system of organized. Man, listen. So let me get back on point. You really need to consider what you should do differently and what you should keep doing the way you're doing it if it's working. Basically, to protect your bottom line or be more profitable. Using these numbers to keep yourself on track as you move through the month, making and spending money and working towards your business goals. This is what you need to do when it comes to building your basic business budget. Like I said, 1, list your sources of income. 2, determine what is a fixed cost. 3, determine what's a variable expense. 4, map your expenses against the income you're bringing in so you can forecast just next month's finances. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. KISS. As my favorite professor, Mr. Alvin Simpson, used to say at Northland High School back in the 90s. Next step, understand sales tax. You also had to figure out sales tax. It's different in every single state, so there aren't many generalizations that you can make. Some states don't even charge sales tax for products, and some don't charge it for services. Sales tax doesn't actually cost you anything as a business. It's not lost revenue that you'll miss. It's just a tax you charge your customers on behalf of your state, and then you pass it along to the state. So if you don't charge and then pass along the proper sales tax to your state, however, the government can't audit your ass. You going back they can go back multiple years too, and demand back sales tax from your business. Boo. Listen, at that point, you can't go back to your customers. You have to come up with the money yourself. So it's just easier to get it right the first time and just keep up with any charges or any changes. I mean, I also want to say, for those that did the PPP loan and all the other stuff, y'all created a little bit of mess if you didn't even think about none of this. Anyway, and if you got more than $1,000, oh my Lord, oh my. So I need you to learn about your state sales tax policies and rates by going to your state Secretary of State site. Some idiosyncrasies could include that, like Missouri, they tend to tax products over services. Arkansas, they tax services like lawn care. Kansas taxes construction differently depending on if it's a new construction or a remodel. California has a 30-page PDF about its sales tax for photographers. And whenever you're in doubt, just consult your certified accounting professional. So, and here in Columbus, Ohio, I got you. Because literally, you can't get your grants if you ain't got your taxes together. Aha! Next step. All right. Get paid. Whenever you require payment upon purchase or services rendered, or if you invoice your clients, there are multiple ways that you can accept the payment for your product or services. PayPal Business and Merchant Services accepts secure online payments via customer PayPal balances, debit cards, or credit cards. I believe in PayPal. Venmo Business, they accept secure online payments via customer Venmo balances, debit cards, or credit cards. I like Venmo. Square, they accept secure online card payments via customer debit cards or credit cards. They're expensive, I like Square though. QuickBooks Online jumped in the game. Shopify jumped in the game. And listen, basic cash checks and money orders work directly with your bank to deposit cash checks and money orders from your customers. This is what we need to do. Basically, Andrew is recommending, and Chiquila, Master C, Chiquila, is recommending that you keep your payment system just as simple as you can. And though all of these payment systems are valid, Andrew recommends choosing 2 or 3, and definitely not all. Okay? Streamline. Automate as much as possible and deposit all your payments into one business bank account with more than one. I'm going to add with more than one account inside of it. I think about 5 or 6. And that's on top of your goddamn savings. What? Anyway, next. Prepare for what's next. If you're just getting started or if you're a micro business with relatively few transactions, then Andrew and I say, listen, you don't need no accounting software or no monthly bookkeeping practices, at least not until you grow. Okay, don't make things more complicated or stressful than you need it to be right now. Just keep your business finances separate from your personal finances. Hire a professional accountant to do your. Also, remember, keep your receipts, your tax records for 7 years in case you get audited. You know, the IRS does recognize digital records, so you can rely on PDFs of your returns and scans and pictures of your receipts. Do monthly bookkeeping to keep yourself from scrambling to do all that work around tax time. Please, y'all, do that for you, girl. And as your business get bigger, track your finances with software like QuickBooks or FreshBooks, and look at financial reports and statements to get even higher level views of your business. Okay? You can take a deep breath now because basically you got the basics of business accounting 101. All right? You understand the basics of getting started with your business finances. All right? And if you need, I have plenty of resources and guides that you can hit me up on Black Girl Magic Masters LLC at gmail.com if you need documents. Now, right now, I'm sending these documents for about $3, depending on what it is. If it's a one-sheeter, it's going to be $3. But if it's a template on how to file your taxes, I got all kinds of stuff. I even got QuickBooks and FreshBooks. What you want? I literally got direct links and information to whatever you need. But, your girl can't do this for free. Again, like I said, I got to teach y'all how to make this money, and we got to get in where we fit in at every level. But this has been your basics in business accounting. So I want to say, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me. Help me grow, like, share, follow, do what you do in order to let people know. And I appreciate you. Period, point blank. That's it. All right, so I love you guys. Okay, also, this is 7 days from my birthday. Your girl is turning the big 4-5. 4-5. Oops. Well, that's how much I'm right now. But next Thursday, I'm going to be on a fancy road trip on my way to go to my graduation to get my master's degree. Make sure I take a lot of pictures. So I really appreciate y'all for joining me. And like I said, it's about to go down. We're about to make this money. And you're going to make this money because literally you would not be watching me if you did not believe so. So again, go back over the video. Like I said, get the basics. You know what to do. And if you need any extra deliverables, templates or something that I mentioned or whatever you need some extra help with, I got you. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the flip side. It's been real. Peace.